Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Dimitri back again. In this video, we're gonna discuss 5 income streams that millionaires have and should have in their lives. Basically, a lot of people talking about, hey, with this millionaire, this and that, but almost all of them have at least one of these specific income streams, if not all of them, that they getting money from, especially with the money that with the job that they have. So let's dive into it and see what they and you and I can have as an earnest income or earning income stream in our lives. So income stream number 1, earned income. So to all of that, obviously, so folks are not living for free. So there's a lot of that going on. So hey, clickbaits and everything. So but in reality, you gotta have an earned income going on in your life. So it could be a salary, it could be financial or freelance projects and things like that. But nonetheless, you have to have a specific income in your life. So it could be maximizing your skills, jobs. So let's say I work in IT, and that is my really like my income that's going on in my life. So right, in a specific case of other celebrities, let's say they have income of let's say like actors, they have like a fee that they get for a project. So a lot of them have like project managers and things like that, so that they getting their income from there. Real estate agents, real estate brokers, let's say them, they have, and I had a real estate license before, so I know that they receive the commission from selling or renting out the project or places and things like that. So this is basically it where the regular job is concerned. So maximizing your skill, generate as much cash flow as you can, reinvest it, and that will make a lot of difference. Why? Because the money, and we talked about this already before, so money is working for you instead of just against you, or like let's say just you spending on everything. So maximize that, and that would be your one of those streams of income that all of them pretty much famous people and rich people have. So stream number 2, dividend income, right? So most, if not all, again, millionaires have a second dividend or dividends income in their lives. How are they getting those? Stocks, bonds, things like that, ETFs, things are already in place that can definitely generate income. So stocks pay you by holding them. So, and that's a basic principle in there, where this, well, not all the stocks, that's a different there, but you gotta have at least stocks that pay dividends. Let's say think of Coca-Cola, Apple, or ETFs that and Google that which ETF stands for, see what's going on in there. But nonetheless, this is the key principle and difference, where you holding an asset or specific part of the company like showing as a stock or a part of the stock, like 0.0 whatever partial stock, that will give you and generate a dividend for you as you prolong, like as long as you holding them. So you bought in, let's say you went ahead, you bought into open the brokerage account like Robinhood, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab, whatever. So they tell you, okay, so here's the time, so you can go ahead and buy it. So you transfer money in there and then you buy the stock. So it's not like promotion or anything, but it's just a general principle how you buy stock, right? So you go all the prompts, you do all that, so and then you generate basically a transaction for which you getting the dividend. Like you add as you hold them, you bought it, that's it, done. That's that simple. So you bought it and then you hold on to basically hold that stock in that view or in that status. So later on you will see dividend income showing on your ledger, so saying like, hey, this is done and this is what it is. So go ahead and do that as you get the consistency. So the key here, the stream number 2 is the consistency, and not like purchasing like buying in, selling. So you losing out on that time flow, on that time in there, like cooking in that money, so to speak. That money is then marinating. So I like that terminology as well, marinating there. So you're not getting those benefits, but as well as the long-term capital gains. So if you have in your jurisdiction, in your country, if you have that, take a look into that, how the taxes are involved. So especially like I'm in the US, that specific, there's a very specific difference, and there's a lot of percentage money involved in that, so you might as well take a look into it. So nonetheless, so this is stream number 2, which is dividend income. Stream number 3, real estate income. A lot of folks don't like real estate, so specifically because, hey, you got to deal with toilets, tenants, issues, things like that, and some noisy neighbors and like crazy neighbors or floods or whatever. So there is a different way to do that. Like, let's say, like buy into like real estate funds, or like, let's say, a lot of like ETFs too. They provide as a ETFs, like as a stock option. So in the real estate world. So, but specifically and purely real estate as a landlord, rental income could be a very much beneficial. So specifically, I have a rental income beneficial, been benefiting from that. So not so, I can tell this much. So I probably spent maybe, if accumulatively speaking, I would spend maybe 3-5 hours a year to do things that I need, like in the real estate world, instead in the sense of real estate rentals, getting those. Why is that? Because right from the beginning, when you're jumping into that real estate income game, or real estate lending or renting out, so depending on the stream that you do, like Airbnb or like regular rentals or like things like that, you have either more or less things involved, but you have to have upfront work done. What I mean by that is that if you buy outdated property that needs like TLC, like tender love and care, if you will, and that is like reduced price and things like that, so you will get the benefit in the sense of pricing and things like that. If you want to sell that property, like flip the property and all that, but it's a whole different game. But just in a short period of time, rentals, if you do everything upfront correctly, like project wise, or like you look into it and you're already, if you have a trained eye, or like well, I do, like, at least as far as I know. So, but nonetheless, when you're jumping into a property, you obviously need to recognize, hey, if this property is good and a good section, but you have to also have good homework done, in the sense of what? In the sense that you screen the tenants properly, not just like, oh, okay, so you say this and that, but can you actually back it up with the paperwork, official paperwork, instead of like, hey, you know what, I do this, and no, never do this before, never do this, because they have to prove what they say. Otherwise, man, you're at the mercy of whatever they say. So, and you don't know them unless you know them. So, well, it's up to you really. So do you trust them based on what they say and provide new information? So if that's feasible, yes. So what I do, I just try to check that all the ins and outs before I rent them out the property. So that's a stream number 3. Stream number 4, that's a business income. What do I mean by that? So a lot of millionaires so either own or invest in business. Angel investors, they have a very hard job to do. So let's say they have to screen, they have to know the numbers and things like that. So think of a Shark Tank, think of like, Mr. Wonderful and folks like that. So they gotta screen everything. And if you don't know them, Google them. So they're pretty famous. But nonetheless, you gotta do the screening. And what they do, they know their numbers. Otherwise, they're not gonna invest in you. Or like, what, let's say in that on specific, not in you, but in specific business. Let's say, so if you don't know your numbers, it's a lost situation. But that gives us a lesson that we also have to know our numbers. We have to understand what was going on in our lives, in a specific life, or in a specific personal life, or in specific business what we're doing, like just in regular budget going on. So we gotta know where our money goes. Otherwise, we're just gonna, the money is gonna suck, and nothing is gonna move in any direction. So a couple lessons from that, actually, from that stream business income, that you got to know your understanding to have that. But obviously to have that as a secondary, like YouTube channel or e-commerce store, brick and mortar business, whatever. So on the side hustle. So basically think of a side hustle, but I kind of went in a different direction and mentioned that we got to know our numbers. You got to know your numbers, man. You got to know your numbers in the sense of economy. It's just pure and simple. Like, hey, you got to, if you want to change your life and financial situation, hey, you got to go in and analyze the situation. That's all. I say that all the time. So analyze it before you can go for it. So in any case, income stream number 5, and that's interest and royalties. So finally, interest and royalties is always a good thing to have. Not all the time, like not all the folks have that, but it's good to have. So let's say you're lending out the money, and then you can have an interest income coming out from that as being a little your own bank, so to speak, or lending money to others. Collecting property, intellectual property, like the fees from intellectual property, let's say royalties, like music, let's say you create, or things like that. So that will give you royalties and things like that. So very, very lucrative business, especially if you maximize it and go big. So that's the reason a lot of celebrities go really, like you might ask yourself, so why in the world those people have so much money? And that's crazy. That like it's just pouring out of it. That's because of royalties. That's because of they make a lot of money for specific content that only exclusive to them and things like that. So there's a good battles going on, like huge battles, like in the courtrooms and things like that, to specifically set it the way that they want it to be, and especially directly involved with them. So if you want to go into that game, obviously up to you. So I have a few friends that are in the music business and going for that. So it's pretty interesting situation. So to get through the get out there and be famous and all that. So but nonetheless, so they're going for it. So wishing them a good luck. So here's the question, and we're wrapping up a little already. So how many of these streams do you currently have, right? So check the incomes down below, like and subscribe, so which helps me a lot. So thanks you guys for watching, but ask yourself a question: how many of these streams do you currently have? So comment below, let me know, because I'm eager to see what's going on in your lives and see what, how can we get into that stream of income and better our lives and better our situation. So together, right? Together we can do everything. So anything. Well, yeah, pretty much. So nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Dmitry is out, so see you guys next time. And but everything obviously legally and all good stuff, so just mention that. So see you guys next time. Dmitry out. Ciao.